What up, everybody? Kind of switching gears here. Gonna start working on the drivetrain. So Alec went ahead and laid all this stuff out. This is all the brand new stuff from 6XD, which is RTS and SS manufacturing. This is what I had before. This was like prototype stuff that bolts to the gearbox, but this was also meant to position the diff for this. And these are my HGK mounts. This is what I bought when I originally built the car when I was still using a Samsonus. So 6XD, on what they did for me to get me a sequential box a couple years ago was basically just make the gearbox bolt to my diff and then change the torque tube and everything else, right? Because you see over here, they modified the torque tube to work with the 6XD right there. So once they did that for me, and they manufacture their own, they have their own positioning for the diff with their own mounts. So that stuff is all basically out of date, and this is the new stuff that's going to be made to work. And what's cool too about this is a totally bolt-on kit, where this, I actually had to cut out the center here, weld this brace on. It was a little bit more labor intensive to get a subframe dialed in, where this literally, like you can see this shape is this. It bolts in, these side pieces bolt into here. Really, really nice pieces like this. Sick stuff. So going to kind of explore and get it bolted together and do some figuring out and getting it ready. Remove that, gonna bolt this new one on. You can see the difference here. This had multiple pieces that it was bolted. This is kind of one piece in with the diff. Pretty sick.
I like this. I'm good.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. Ground this down a little bit to have a little bit more clearance. Had to open this up because if you guys can see, that's smaller. That's like a 10 mil slot, and this is 12 mil slot. I don't know, GM has these two. So we open that up to 12 mil. So these would fit. Gonna fit the diff. Okay, it is time to mount gearbox to the diff. We're getting that all set up there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Everything is still loose so that I can all move around, so that once we start getting it in the car, we'll be able to move around. Watch the second stuff for the second subframe. So yeah, let's get it. What a freaking unit. It's been a little while. Stuff has been moving along for sure, but my new calipers are here. This is like one of Willwood's. This is their new racing logo with their new racing finish. Oh, it's so sick. My other ones, calipers are still great, but I wanted spares. I never had spare calipers this whole time. Pretty sketchy. I had like one spare caliper, to be honest, but it wasn't matching, so those other ones were like a nickel plated before, but this is like this sick dark gray. Man, that looks good. And Alec is starting to service the fuel system. So we have 3 brand new 340 Aeromotive lift pumps, because remember, we still have this external fuel pump. So those are just to supply the pressure pod in there. So you see what I mean? You gotta like
get that AM down.
Yeah, you can probably like disconnect one on the way and then pull it out with the other 2 connected or something like that. Yep. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get to the fuel system. I'm gonna clean up my mess here with all my Willwoods and then do the fuel system. We're currently waiting for shocks and new wheel studs for my new hub. So once that all comes in, then we'll do the brakes and everything all at once. So that's why you got a pile of suspension down there. Waiting. Everything's back ordered. Waiting for everyone else. It's freaking annoying. Cool, so this is a fuel system. You can see that the fuel pumps all go to this pod, and then this has a relief spring in here that holds pressure going to the lift pump. So my lift pump always has like 12 PSI of pressure going to it, and you can see the plumbing in there, and then 3 Aeromotive 340s, one in each corner here to feed this thing. So pretty simple, just unplug it and disconnect the lines, and then we can reach in there and do the fuel pumps. All right, I want to show you guys the way to get from like a kind of a push lock style to an AN hose. It's this special fitting right here. I get these from Turn 1, but you can also get them, I believe, from Aeromotive 2. So you can see this portion of it threads into there. And there you go, you can tell. So there's an O-ring that grips around the fuel pump itself, and then this guy sandwiches it and squeezes it and seals right up against it. So it's a nice way, something that's not super high pressure, but totally seals, because again, there's only 12 PSI in here. Look at this. That's sick. Carb Legal sticker.
Will these pump?
Yeah. That's cool. O-ring on. Okay, fuel cell is done. Capped everything. You can see the lines up in the car, and we are putting it back in. And yeah, this is the stock location. So yeah, it's really not that bad. Just going to, oh, I should probably get these off first. Definitely. All right, let's do it. Okay, so we feed the, just kind of hold the wiring up in there, and then that'll go like through the hole. Okay. Cool. I think we probably need to lower the car. Okay. Yep. Go ahead, lower the car down. Yep. Looking good. Keep coming. Cool. 1 second. Get this in there. Okay. So yeah, first thing, I gotta get the vent. All right, all the bolts are on the tank. Here, let me light it up in there for you. Boom. Everything is connected. Now I just ran the wiring up into here, and that's where I have the other plugs waiting for me right here. So I'm just gonna plug them in, boom, 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 because I redid the wiring and where they're gonna lay out. It's gonna loop around, and it'll be good to go. And then we just put this side plate on. Boom, over here. All right, it's been a little bit of time. We've been kind of waiting for things. The panels showed up, so from Carlos from No End Customs, so Alec put half of them on. Still waiting for the front half of things. Roof came back, he polished it up because it was scratched just from laptops and beer being set on it and whatnot. So this is what I've been waiting for. Oh yes, Texas Speed Concept Performance LSR block 427. Oh yeah, I am pumped about this. Had my problems in the past with some of the other blocks, and this is supposed to be the block, the one for big boy power if you need an aluminum block. So just look at this thing. It's a beauty. It's a beauty. Time to go home. So I'm probably gonna just put the camera down, put it on time lapse, and Alec and I are just gonna go to town because I'm excited. I've been waiting for this, and we have a dyno appointment in like 5 days, 4 days. It's gonna be the weekend soon, so Wednesday. Wednesday's our dyno appointment, and it's Thursday now, so it should be no problem, but we wanna get going. So, I'm gonna set you down and do my thing. Enjoy. Okay, last night, Alec got a bunch of stuff done, bell housing on, all the front accessories. That's what you guys were watching. So right now we're just doing a couple more things, putting on the power steering pump. That is a turn 1 power steering pump that's specifically valved for drifting. Pretty cool. So if you guys need a power steering pump, go to turn 1 for sure. What I'm doing is building spare oil pump to pan lines. Those are the other ones. Nothing wrong with them. They're just gonna be for the spare engine. So I've never had like a spare, I've always had a spare oil pump, but I never had like a bracket and lines and pan and engine mounts and like everything. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. I'm taking the time now to go over all of that and equip it. So building some lines, Earl's Ultra Pro right here. Super nice. It's the convoluted tube, lightweight, incredibly flexible. So highly recommend this stuff over some of the basic stuff. It's nice. All right, let's build these lines. Okay, all the oil pump lines are done. Some abrasion resistance has been zip tied on. Just clears the engine mount. Alec is just about done with that power steering bracket. Okay, everything is equipped. Vortex supercharger on, oil pump, power steering, everything freaking new. Everything brand new on this. All right, let's get it. Set her in. Okay, most of the engine is all installed up top, so we just lifted it up. Got to hook up a couple lines, fittings, get the exhaust put on, starter, those kinds of things. So time to do that. Let's get to it. Okay, it is time to put the torque tube in. Everything up top is hooked up. Boom. Torque tube is in position and we are ready to go. Okay, we are back from an amazing dyno session. Car made more power than ever. And more power as it's actually going to be ran, because we don't run it all the way, like fully tuned up. So that's good. Now we have some ability to, we have more range now, so that's the biggest thing. Demo car, good to go. We're going to take that to dyno on Thursday, but now I'm going to put these doors on. Carlos from No Ends Customs absolutely killed it with the paint. He did all the rear body work. We'll get it up there. But yeah, it's time to put it on. Alec is just finishing up a couple of things, modifications on the valve covers. And I guess I'm gonna put the doors on. Let's get to it. So body work is on and we have moved on to the corner balancing alignment. We just finished the corner balance. This thing wasn't really far off, and that's even after we sent the shocks into Part Shop Max. Tommy did a great job at marking where everything was collar-wise and adjuster-wise and height-wise, and sent it back as is. So that's really cool. Just a couple of turns on the right rear was all that it needed. So now we are going to align it using our Wonder aligner here. And then we're just like a fender flare and some stickers short of being ready to rock. So we're gonna align it, go over it one last time, and kind of get ready for testing, because we're going testing in 2 days. Very cool.